Hey Factionistas, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing Bad Santa, and we're doing it after Christmas because I'm the worst. But I really hope that you guys like this look, and I had so much fun making it. And I was trying to dork around, you know what I'm saying? Cool. Alright, so if you guys have been noticing that my hair is super fleeky throughout this tutorial, and it's pretty freaking healthy for bleaching it 400,000 times. And that's because I've been using this new deep conditioning treatment by Matrix, and I'm going to have it linked down below with more information on where you can get it because it's changing my life. The star of this makeup tutorial is the Makeup Forever Flash Color Sticks, which are the same formulation as the Makeup Forever Flash Palette, but they come individually and in larger quantities. They are thebomb.com. The first thing we want to do is we want to create the lotus flower in the center of the neck. So I'm taking a synthetic makeup brush and I'm taking the peachy pink shade from that flash color stick and I'm creating the first lotus petal right in the center of my neck, which is essentially a teardrop shape, and I'm filling that in. Once you go there, I'm doing a little bit of more half petals on each consecutive side of that center petal, and I'm just sweeping that right in there, okay? And then I'm doing two smaller ones right at the end, so we essentially have 5 petals total that are rounding out as we go. And then I'm doing an inverted petal, oh my god, I keep saying petal underneath the bottom of the lotus flower, and then we're going to create a little bit more later on, but I'm just going to start focusing on the top section first to make it a little bit easier to follow. I'm going in with a magenta shade now, and I'm putting that right at the top of that petal, and then I'm blending it downwards on every single petal itself. You can see in the center one, I'm starting from the very center triangle of that petal, and I'm blending it down, and then when I get to the side sections, I'm going to kind of go from the top. I'm curving it around, as you see right here, and I'm kind of blending it more in a C shape on each opposing side, which is going to add movement overall, that this lotus flower is kind of curving around the neck, and it has depth. Does that make sense? Hope so, because I don't know how else to explain it. Like I said before, these Makeup Forever Flash Color Sticks are cream paints, and I really wanted to use them throughout this entire video because cream paints really blend beautifully within each other, and I really wanted a soft blended look, so that's kind of why I'm doing this. But then, you know, you have to obviously not move very much because you can smear them off until you set them with powder, so always set them with powder. But right now, I'm just blending that magenta into all of those petals. Now I'm going in with white, and I'm going into the smallest areas here, and I'm blending those outwards. I'm doing one focal point of white first, blending it out, and then right now you're going to see me going in with a little bit more, and that's going to add a little bit more of a multi-dimensional highlight, which I think pulls a little bit more photorealism, if that's what you're going for. But to give you guys a closer look, I did pull the camera in just for a second to kind of see this is what we're kind of working with. I did create a little bit extra petals on the back end, but you really don't kind of have to because your chin kind of covers it if you have more than one. Like me, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I'm going in with black, and I'm doing that right at the tip of each petal, and I'm curving it around the same way that we used with that magenta purpley shade. And that's going to add maximum depth and all that good stuff. I'm going to go in later on with black eyeshadow, or you guys can do however you want, or whatever you guys have, but you want to just add a little bit more depth and movement. So now I'm going in and I'm taking that same peach shade and I'm creating, so from that bottom focal pointed inverted paler, I just said paler again, I'm like literally going to jump off a bridge. I'm just creating a little bit more on the side to create, you know, a very, you know, lotusy looking design. I would definitely recommend going off of a photo of an actual lotus flower or a tattoo similar to this. I changed into my Christmas robe because I needed to be working on my neck and chest, but I didn't want to freeze to death. But I'm just shading the bottom section of each petal like I did the top, and I'm just going to add a little bit more depth and all of that good stuff. You can leave them like this. I went in and I outlined it, which I kind of liked / kind of hated, so you guys can really, you know, decide what you wanted to do. My camera, of course, didn't film it because I'm the worst YouTuber of all time. So now I'm going in with a white pencil. We're going to create what this angel wing on the opposite side that you see right there. So I'm just going in with a pencil and I'm going and I'm creating that kind of top wing section that rests above the feathers. I would definitely recommend looking at tattoos for this or a picture of an owl or whatever you may be, but reference photos will definitely help you when creating something kind of outside of your comfort zone, which I've never done angel wings before, so bravo me. So I'm going in with a little bit of a greenish mint color. I mixed it with white just to get a little bit more of a unique shade. And I'm just going to apply that to that top section, which is going to be the top of the angel wing. You feel me? I hope so. Bam, bam. So now I'm going in with that mint shade without any white mixed in, and I'm just using a lip brush, and I'm using a brush that has the shape of the feather that I want. So to find a brush that's synthetic that has a rounded edge, and I'm just applying a little straight lines straight up into that angel top wing section. They don't even have to meet because we're going to add shadow there later on. So you just want to create a bunch of crazy little like mini baby carrot lines, if that makes sense. From there, we're going to take some black face paint. I'm just going to hug it right at the top of the wing, and then once it's applied, I'm using that black cream paint again to just blend out and buff and get a nice seamless edge, and then I'm going in with a little bit more black to deepen it up and doing that again, which is another reason why I'm using cream paints, because they blend very quickly and they blend very nicely. So I'm going in with that same liner again. This is Tardius Double Take Liner, which is my absolute favorite, and you're just going to black out each individual feather. It's really easy. You want to just curve that line around. It's going to look a little messy, but now we're going to go in and we're going to add some black eyeshadow to kind of enhance all of that and to set the overall bad boy. So now we're just going to go in with another row of those same feathers. So just create some more baby carrots, sweeping up across your neck. You guys can decide how big or small you want this design to be. I wasn't really sure why I'm doing that, or what, like wasn't really sure what I was doing with this design, so it took me like 4 or 5 hours just for the neck, because I kept taking stuff off, I kept putting stuff back on again, and I really didn't go in with this video with a plan at all, so it took me way longer than I was supposed to, and I ended up filming for like 8 hours, and I was real sleepy. So I didn't show you where these two wings meet because I ended up just drawing a heart on top of them. And if I knew I was going to do this originally, I wouldn't have drawn them so low in the first place. And from experience now, I would definitely take a makeup wipe and remove a little bit of that center section, because now I'm layering on like 15 layers of cream paint and it's getting to be a little bit too much and they're all kind of blending together. But I'm just creating a traditional heart right in the center to kind of ground the overall tattoo itself. And you want to just fill that in with some red. So since it was overlapping and mixing together, I needed to go in with an eyeshadow. So I picked up one of Becca's blushes, and this is like one of the most pigmented red-orange blushes that I've ever seen. And I'm just applying that to the heart, and I'm setting it. It had that warmth that I was missing. It looked a little bit ashy and a little bit gray tone to heart, if you guys can see on the left side right now. So the eyeshadow really brings that warmth back in, which I was lacking. And then now I'm switching to an eyeshadow since we just set it with powder, no more cream paint. So I'm using a white eyeshadow to kind of highlight one side of the heart to add a little bit of depth. And then from there, after applying a couple layers of that, I'm going to take a black eyeshadow and I'm going to shade around the heart. If I ever get to it, who's to say? Time will tell. Name that YouTuber. So now I'm going in with black eyeshadow, and I'm circling that around the heart to add a little bit of depth and dimension, and to really have it stand out like a tattoo sees. That's really what we're going for. I wish I could do this again, where I slept a little bit and had a little bit more of like a plan going on, because to me it seems like a little bit messy, which is a hard part of makeup. Sometimes I think of all the things I could have done better, but it turns out in the end, and I was okay with it. And most of this video was just for a good laugh anyway, but I wanted to throw something interesting in there. But so now I'm just taking that same felt tip eyeliner from Tarte, and I'm just outlining that heart all over. So in the true timeline of this, I finished this lotus flower like 4 or 5 hours ago, so it definitely faded. So I'm taking NYX's Primal Face Color in pink, and I'm going to re-enhance all of the lotus, because since it's been sitting